Good morning, Reverend Sue here with Porch Preachings. Happy Thursday morning to you. Birds are singing. Lots of activity going on. I was meditating this morning. Actually, I've been thinking about this week, and was actually asked by someone who watches Porch Preaching if I could speak about grief and loss, death. And it's interesting to me because it's a theme that seems to be going on. I've been asked several times this week to assist families or assist individuals who are going through some of that process. Family members who are at the end of that journey. And reflecting on just all the feelings and all the thoughts that go forth when one is in that grieving and loss and mourning. And it can be about someone who's passing, absolutely, and certainly the people that I'm helping right now, that's where they're at. But loss and grief can come from a lot of things. It can be loss of a person, it can be loss of a job, it can be loss of opportunities. But for this morning, I'm focusing on the grief and the loss and the feelings that people have when death is an eminent part of their world. We all die. It's a fact of life. And people around us are going to die. It's going to happen. And sometimes it happens so quickly you have no time to prepare or to think about it. And sometimes it's a process. For those who've dealt with people with Alzheimer's or dementia or a long-term type of disease that eventually consumes that person that you love or care about, that's a really different process, because you're interacting with someone who you're loving them in the moment, and yet you have such conscious awareness that that end is going to be coming sooner. And every day can be different. Some days you're strong. Some days you barely crawl out of bed. You can be doing what you think are normal things, going to the store, putting gas in your car, and it seems normal, and then suddenly you're hit with this wave. And that can happen for all the different instances. And you can feel like you're going crazy. And again, it's not something that most people are ready for, prepared for, or sometimes even know how to handle. In life, we spend so much time getting the gusto, the joie de vivre, all the things that are important. And we really don't take time to learn about, to prepare, and to understand this whole grieving and loss and reactions to deaths. So I'm thinking about that. Excuse me. I'm thinking about that this morning. I'm thinking about how to share some thoughts, some ideas. And the biggest thing I can even think of this morning is that you're not alone. There are people that love and care about you. And that while that loss is something that's personal, that everyone feels in an alone way, it is universal. How do we cope? How do we get through it all? There's a lot of different ways to look at that. And maybe tomorrow morning we'll explore some more of that as well. But for today, I just want to say that if you're going through that, if you're walking through that, know that you have support, you have love, and that you will get through it. May not seem like it. You can't fathom what the world would be like with the loss, with the splinkus that takes place in your belly and in your heart and in your gut, those waves. But you will. And if you've never been through it before, this can be a daunting task. But you will. And you will maybe not ever be the same, but you're going to be informed. It's going to change you in a way that you have a greater understanding of the world, of others, even of yourself. And at the end of the day, The only two words that really matter about the whole experience is, it sucks. It does. I'm not going to lie. So I try to keep these short and simple and sweet, and there's really no short and simple, sweet way. Just know that I extend my best energies and best intentions to everyone who's walking through this. I will talk more about this tomorrow. I'll try to get a little more in depth. But for today, just know that you're not alone. Feel free to leave comments for each other in this, depending on whatever mode you're watching this in. But we're going to keep talking about this, because that's the only way everybody helps each other to get through it. I'll see you on the porch tomorrow. Blessings, amen, and a women.